Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a side quest episode of Game Pass Grab Bag. I am your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. I didn't think of intros because we're just kind of doing these quick games. And with me is our moderate gamer, Keith.
Hello.
So we wanted to do a couple little side quest episodes here. So me and Keith have been luckily graciously given multiple review codes for some games. So instead of trying to take up the week episode every week, we're going to try to do a bunch of these kind of shorter episodes. So this week we'll probably be releasing two. I mean, obviously, if you're listening to a different date, it's going to be something. It's obviously all going to be probably out there anyway. But we have a couple games that we've played that we thought we'd kind of give our attention to a little bit here. Unfortunately, these are currently not on Game Pass. The game we're talking about today, Keith got to play, which is God of Weapons. Who's the studio, Keith?
Gosh, I just had it up too. You'd think I would be prepared for this.
I know.
But if anybody knows me, they know that I am not prepared. But yeah, so God of Weapons. So I got this one as a free copy on keymailer.co. Co.com. So that's where we got this one from. But publisher or developer.
Developers Archmage Labs.
It doesn't give me the developer. Developer's blank. But it does say the publisher. So I was going to tell you the publisher. That's Ultimate Games SA. I don't know if that matters. But what's cool about God of Weapons is it's a roguelike. So check. It already had me hooked.
That's why you requested it.
Yeah. But it's so I don't know. I'm bad with terminology, but they describe it as an isometric like bullet hell auto shooter. So honestly, think Brotato. If you've played Brotato, then you at least have an idea of what you're doing in the overall gameplay. So you have the gameplay is very simple, very straightforward. You have your selection of your class of character that you want to choose. You then it actually breaks it out into 3 different subclasses for them that you unlock as you play through the game. And then you get dropped into just an ever leveling up battle. They last about 30 seconds, 60 seconds as you go through. But what's really cool about God of Weapons that I really liked is, so with a lot of these other ones, you get 6 slots for a weapon, 6 slots for a skill. They pair up, and you can get kind of like 1 mega skill, something along those lines. It's a pretty cut and paste formula. Not God of Weapons. They lean into that weapons theme, and it is old.
It's almost like it's in the name,
right? I don't know why they named it like this. It's so apt. But what you find is it's kind of this old school Diablo 2 inventory that you have. So you start with like
that grid system.
Yeah, so it starts with a grid of like 4x4, and then your crossbows will have like a little T, or all the different weapons have a different shape. A longsword might take up just 6 straight slots and all these things, and it becomes this kind of growing game of Tetris that you're buying these little trinkets that usually take up a small portion of your bag, and they'll fill out kind of the little empty gaps as you are, because it also doesn't just expand on 1 ring basis or 1 row basis, anything like that. No, every time you level up, it gives you 2 boxes you can add to your grid, and it will just kind of give you 4 or 5 random spots. So you have all these little just uneven edges around. So it really becomes this tricky little game of like, how do I want to maneuver my weapons and whatnot.
And does it level up like in Brotato? Like, do you get killing enemies gives XP, or is it just you level up every time you beat a run? And that's the thing. Are the runs timed?
They are. So it's that same idea where you have a countdown, starts with I think like 20 seconds, goes up to 60 seconds, a minute and a half, something like that. And yeah, there's like the coins that drop around, and you pick those up, and those are going to be your gold, and it's going to be your experience that you gain along the way. So there's no actual skills that you add to the game, and I think that that's what makes it such a unique twist. Unlike these other,
so no skills, just weapons.
Yep, all weapons and these trinkets. Again, so not everything is a weapon. You might pick up something that gives you plus armor, plus health, whatever the case may be. But yeah, it otherwise, again, if you're kind of familiar with the genre or this style of game, it has that Brotato stat lineup where right on your right hand side of your UI or your pause menu, it just has about 30 different stats that you can level up independently with your weapons, your skills, all these things. And then it has that same kind of idea where if you have multiple of the same weapon, you get bonus stats for it. And but it doesn't seem like it caps. So like Brotato, you can only have, up to level 6. I think you can just keep going indefinitely in this, because if you're watching the video right now, Andrew's got a clip pulled up. This person has like 15 different items.
All right. So how do the roguelike elements work? Do you unlock new weapons, new characters?
So it's both. So you're unlocking the weapons, the characters, trinkets, I would say pretty par standard things on this. Like, so as you do different things, maybe it's like defeat this boss, or equip so many of this type of a weapon, or complete a run only doing this. That's what's going to unlock your different classes. You have kind of different like quests you have to do that, and then as you are getting to the end levels, you start to pick up this additional currency, and that additional currency goes towards a skill tree that you're upgrading as well. So
and you said there's different classes, so do the skill tree only work per class?
No, the skill tree it's a generalized
universal
one. Yep, because it'll just be
like that's gonna be a lot of grinding.
Yeah, it's all base attack, base luck, base base stats like that. So each character doesn't level up separately. They're all they're all just within that generalized class stats.
All right. Well, Keith, you're missing the most important thing our audience is here for, and I bet you've been paying attention. What is the story, Keith? It's a roguelike. It's got to have a riveting story, right?
I came prepared for this. The world was once a bright and beautiful place, Andrew. It was filled with light and wonder. But one day, an evil force swept across the land, stealing away the world's light and plunging it into darkness.
You're clearly not reading.
No, I'm not. I had this prepared. I wrote this, not the game developers who prepared this and provided this for me to read. As a result, chaos and destruction spread across the world, and many feared that the darkness would never end. Defeat the darkness?
Ooh.
That's your story.
Ooh. So did you beat this game?
I mean, I haven't beaten it with every class. I've won. I actually feel like I was winning at a pretty good rate. I want to say I had probably like a 60-70% win rate as I was going through it, and I was upping. So it has your typical roguelike. You beat it on like level 1 difficulty, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can't remember what they call them, but it has your increasing difficulties. Higher hordes of monsters, you get more currency, yada yada, all that stuff. But I was already at like the highest difficulty.
Really?
Going through, yeah. So I feel like I want to say it's still in a beta or a preview state.
Not according to the Steam page.
Okay, so maybe not. But the balancing felt a little off, and I don't want to. I will say, in that regard, it felt like the balancing was off in my favor. So whenever it's that case, it's hard to knock against. But I will say it leaned in towards maybe the easier side. Like I think I was playing with one of the mages, and there's this one beam that it's like a quick half-second charge up and just shoots. I had like 7 or 8 of them and was melting everything. The other thing I'm not sure about that I haven't come across is I haven't found an endless mode, which is it's kind of a niche thing, but
not really. Not with roguelikes nowadays.
Well, exactly. With the style of game, you kind of just expect it. Now, is it something I unlock because I didn't complete enough things? Very possibly. I don't know, because it kind of feels like it should. Even just not just on the base level of it being a roguelike, there are certain things in the game that just like it automatically levels you up at the start of the last level. So like, why are you going to automatically level me up if I can't do anything with those levels on the next time? So little things like that. I think the endless mode does open up. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
So man, it's just kind of surprising of like how much easier it is. I mean, you obviously have played a lot of roguelikes, and the fact that you find this one kind of easy. So how many characters are there?
That's what I was trying to look that up, because if I were to guess, I'm trying to think, 10 to 15.
Wow, that's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I want to look this up. Just, but that said, there was like multiple ranged characters. Like one of them where maybe they were like more of like a tankier range, or like one of them I think was had more of like a healing aspect to it, like the different trinkets you could start with. and the different pluses and minuses and the like. So there is a lot of, you have a paladin, you have a knight, you have, a bunch of bruiser, different classes, a barbarian. But yeah, there's quite a bit, and amongst that, then you have the 3 different subclasses, which change how each of them play fairly uniquely from what I experienced. So,
So, what was your favorite class?
I probably it was one of the mage ones. I want to say that was like an acolyte, where it was a healing mage, because they had this one skill that basically just kept me alive the entire time. The trinket itself, I believe it started me with a shield that was based on like 50% of my health or something every round, and then I just stacked up a bunch of either lifesteal or health regen, and I was basically untouchable. That was the same run that I was using those like laser beam weapons that I was talking about. 37 characters available.
Jeez.
So knight,
you're only saying 15, so you're probably only like halfway.
Yeah. So there's knight. I'm just gonna run through: knight, weapon master, eldritch knight, rogue, assassin, thief, hunter, sharpshooter, ranger, wizard, spellblade, scholar, priestess, crusader. But you get where I'm going.
This is very much like Brotato then.
Yeah, you have those 37, but honestly, there's, they're kind of classed in there. Oh, jester, there's a king, so very much like Brotato.
Yeah.
But there is something to be said though, and at least in the aesthetic difference. It's a little bit cartoony. Like, it's definitely not, dark and brooding by any means. Say like what was the turn-based one? Darkest Dungeon.
It's
like, it's not like that at all. It's a little bit cartoony, but at the same token, it has a little bit more of a 3D and a little bit more realistic look to it. It's you're humans, or you're fighting monsters or whatever, and it's got, I don't know if this is what makes it the isometric. It's not top down fully. It's more like at an angle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what it looked like in the trailer, which seems kind of odd. Like, that seemed like it would be kind of distracting, of like having the camera at like a 45 degree. Like, I feel like you either got to be like almost 2D or top down, and it's at like a 45.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's definitely noticeably different, but it doesn't, it didn't feel like it detracted anything from the visuals to it, or like I didn't feel like depth was off to it. It still feels very flat. It just, you're kind of looking, it's just like you're tilting it a little bit. So it's kind of weird in that regard.
Did you have a favorite weapon?
And again, that stacked thing, I pretty much really focused on a lot of range. So it has that function where you can merge 2 weapons into a higher class of weapon, all the way up to the legendary.
And I'm assuming there's recipes. I'm assuming there's like not an unlimited amount of combinations, right?
I hadn't gotten to a point where I could merge different weapons. I don't know if that's a thing you can do, like cross. As far as I was ever doing, it was only merging the same weapon with itself to just improve its rarity.
Oh, just to make it, all right, to make it like a +1, +2.
Exactly. And there's like a little trinket that lets you can buy it, and it automatically lets you use a potion that upgrades your weapons and whatnot. But truthfully, yeah, I liked a lot of the range weapons. Unlike Brotato, at least the melee weapons I was using here, they just kind of felt a little bit clunky and off. But just stacking tons of range,
which like Brotato did too.
It really was. But I don't know, Brotato had some that were pretty fun to run melee on. But I guess truthfully, at the end of the day, I also just wanted to do shurikens, which was ranged melee.
Ranged melee.
Yeah. So pretty much the same. Yeah.
So the great thing that was one of the great things about Brotato is that it had multiplayer. Does this game have multiplayer?
I don't think so. I didn't see any mention, but Brotato added it late too.
That's true.
So that wasn't a day one thing.
But this game originally came out in 2023, according to the Steam page.
Oh, so this must have been for its Xbox.
Yeah, no, or maybe that or DLC, because they did just come out with some DLC, Eternal Nightmares.
Well, I don't have the DLC.
So then it might be. Are you playing on Xbox or PC?
I am playing on Xbox.
Oh, well, lucky you. Then yes, it must be for that. So I guess I'm assuming, because you probably didn't pull this information up. So if you are listening to this and you are interested in this game, it is currently going for $6.99 on Steam. But if
It's
you
not
want to
bad
play
at
on
all.
Xbox like Keith, it's $9.99.
That's still honestly not that bad.
It's not. No, not at all.
Because
Honestly, because that's like how much I think Brotato was.
I think Brotato might be
Brotato's
more.
$4.99 on Steam.
Okay. But
But
even
still,
on Xbox, they pair it up with a lot of other games too. So that's
yeah.
one of the nice things about Brotato. But no, 10.99 or 9.99, I would say is absolutely worth it for this. You can, if at least if you're into this style of games, if you've enjoyed Brotato, if you've enjoyed Vampire Survivor, or any of the countless knockoffs that are out there are just fun for you to pick up and play. I don't want to knock this because it has its own feel to it, that like the weapons and the way that you stack them makes it unique, whereas there are some that are genuinely just knockoffs. But even those,
Yeah.
I'll still play because I'm a sucker for this style of game. So that's the other thing. Like even if this was just a cheap knockoff, I'm like, well, it's kind of fun. It does what I want it to do. But I truly would say, yeah, for $10 worth the pickup. And if we're gonna do the dollar per hour comparison, you're probably gonna blow it out of the water
Yeah.
with this. I think I put easily over 10 hours into it, and I barely even scratched the surface. So
I mean, it looks like this looks like kind of my jam because I absolutely love Brotato. I love for the longest time me and you were having a competition. Basically, you can get farther on it.
I think I beat you on the second one, but I also got the DLC like a couple days before you.
No, I definitely 100% Brotato before you.
I knew you did on the first part. I thought I did the second one though, but I could be wrong. I believe you. But yeah, I do think you would like this, and especially because of the bag space thing. Like it really does. Like I'd sit there for like a good 5 minutes just tinkering with my bag, and you'd end up. This isn't like, it's not an RNG thing. It's just the way math and puzzles work, and it's so frustrating. Where you'd have 5 slots for a 4-slot item, but you just could not find a way to.
That's frustrating. So if you don't have a space for a thing, do you get rid of the item? Like, can you just not take it with you?
Effectively,
can you bank
the shop has 5 items, and you can lock items in the shop.
Okay, so you're not picking up items; you're only buying items.
You only buy items, and it's in. So I guess I kind of probably should have gone through this, but like the mid-round phase is you come in, you tells you you've leveled up, you get to add 4 new bag slots, you add your bag slots, and then you go to the shop phase. Not all that. That's why I kind of glazed over. It's kind of straightforward, but it makes sense then when you're thinking about it. You want to add your slots, and then you're looking at, okay, what can I add into them now? It does let you remove and put one piece outside of the bag temporarily while you're adjusting. So you can get some more flexibility there. But when you're already like, all right, I have to factor getting this back in, plus the new item that I want to add, you still just have those weird moments where you're like, I have enough spaces, I just can't make it work without selling something, and I don't want to. So you part ways with it and you carry on.
Man. So okay, so how does the rounds work? Is it like Brotato was survive 20 waves, you win a game. How do you win in this? Is it once again wave based?
Yeah.
So 20 waves? Is it like every 5 you fight a boss?
There's definitely unique waves. It doesn't call it out the way that Brotato is, so that's where I don't know for certain, but I would definitely notice like, okay, this one feels like there's a lot of this one enemy that like there's like a blob that starts out as one big blob, turns into 3 little blobs, and you'd have a round where there's just a ton of those. So you notice patterns, but it doesn't tell you what they are. One thing I have not quite figured out, and this might be a key that I have to dive into. There's
how to attack.
There's 2 different ways. So unlike Brotato and some of these games, you don't just pick a character and get dropped into the game. You pick your character and you run around this little room. It's not a big open map. It's nothing crazy. It's just an open room, and you can go select a different character. That's where you go to your skill tree. But there's 2 doors that start the game, and I haven't figured out if there's a difference between.
All right, 10 hours and you're still trying to figure out stuff.
Listen, this is where I fall into the mid-range here. Like I know
why are you the modern gamer?
I can never. I figure out enough. All I know is that I can do what I need to do, and I can get where I.
That's true. I mean, you beat it. So, is that information that important? I guess probably not.
Probably is actually. Someone should probably figure that out if they're going to play this game. I would recommend it.
All right. So you've done about 10 hours on this game. So overall, though, where does it land for you? What do you give for a score? Is this like your best roguelike you've done?
No, it's definitely not that high up there. In the big kind of tier ranking of these, I would say, as it stands, Brotato has been probably one of my top. And it's not a hot take at all to say that between that and Vampire Survivors, they kind of run this genre a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would definitely liken this more to a Brotato, but it's real close. It really is close, but it's just a little bit below there. I would say it's probably like an 85 for me. It's a ton of fun.
That's still very good.
It is. And the funny thing is someone would probably go check this and be like, Keith, you gave Brotato an 83. And I'm like, but all that to say is that the backspace thing is just a lot of fun. And I think I started saying, but then I sidetracked myself talking about the whole shop phase. Is I would sit there just for 3-4 minutes, like tinkering around with things. Whereas other of these games, you're just like, yep, quick, hit A, grab the next thing. Like once you've filled out your bag space, it's just hitting A to just upgrade everything. Or in the case of Brotato, you look at one shop, re-roll a couple, carry on, who cares? 30 seconds, you're in and out of there. This is like a whole different puzzle inside of the game that you end up playing, and it just adds an element of fun.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, one thing I forgot to ask, because this always will bother me. How's the music? Does this game get very repetitive? Because that's the thing I will say with Brotato. I got real sick of that soundtrack.
I'm pretty sure I turned it off pretty early. And not even because it was bothering me. These types of games especially, I'm like, I just like to just put on music.
And that's true.
And
I mean, is there annoying noises like hitting enemies? Do they go, ooh, ooh, ooh? Like, are you hearing anything like that?
No, nothing.
Oh, thank God.
But again, just shut it off if you do. But there isn't anything that you need as far as audio triggers that you're like, I wish I had that on. So,
but is there any satisfying audio triggers? Like Vampire Survivor opening that chest and it does that awesome slot music?
That is true. Again, nothing that stood out to me. Nothing that was noting.
I'd rather it be forgettable than annoying.
Every time.
All right. So overall, I guess that's your review of not better than Brotato, which at the moment of this recording, Brotato is still on Game Pass. But if you're like me and you've completely beaten Brotato, God of Weapons might be your jam. It sounds like it's my jam. Like the more I'm looking at this and hearing you talk about it, I actually think I might check this out.
I mean, if I could figure out how to stream, I think at the very least I can stream on our Discord. So if anybody ever wants to just jump in our Discord, I could fire this up because I can easily stream that. But
Keith would love to.
That's the best thing.
He wants people to.
I literally just offered, so yeah.
He's very lonely.
No, that's not true. But
you also got to make sure it also has to be at like 1 a.m. too.
Like 11. It's 11:27 right now.
All right, Keith. Anything else you want to tell people about God of Weapons?
No, it's a lot of fun. If you're looking to buy a new game, it's within your range.
Yeah, good price point.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good price point. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're playing it on Steam. You get an even further discount. So go for it. Check it out. It's a lot of fun.
All righty. So there's Keith's 2 cents when it comes to God of Weapons by Archmage Labs. So thank you. Make sure you stick around. Like I said, I have a game of my own that I have coming up. So check it out. Until next time, we will see you for our next game review.
Have you never ended a podcast before?
We're doing something different here. It's
so uncomfortable.
When we get out of like our normal formula, because I don't have a script. I just say things.
I hated that.
Okay.
Next one.
Well, everyone, see you in the next one.
Bye.